organizations, and the culture of contempt and hostility towards civil society organizations working to raise the bar of accountability and integrity in the country. We call on all Kenyans to rise to the cause for a free and open civic space. We must not allow Kenya's hard-won democratic institutions be eroded. We reiterate that we don't recognize the summons of the NGO board as issued by Fazul. Fazul has been indicted by constitutional bodies as unfit to hold office, and he continues to perpetuate illegalities by summoning civil society organizations pushing for good governance and the rule of law. This statement has been put together by Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, Inuka Kenya Nisese Limited, Katiba Institute, Muslims for Human Rights, Coalition for Constitutional Implementation, and the Kenya Human Rights Commission. And that is our end of our statement.
Thank you, colleagues, for the statement. So I will now open up for questions from your side, which we are very much willing to respond to.
Andrew Chin, MTV. Why do you believe the attacks have been there, and especially at this time? Could it be because there have been reports and allegations that the civil society is preparing to challenge the fresh presidential election? Is this true? And do you believe that these attacks are the intimidation because of that?
Thank you. Next question, sir.
John Akinby from the Financial Times. You didn't actually deny the allegations that were made by the NGO board. Can you clarify, do you deny all the allegations? Is there any truth in them whatsoever? And do you think this was a continuation of the attacks on AfriCog and the others beforehand? So to expand on what you're saying.
Thank you. We can get the bad question, and then we respond to those ones first. Okay. John,
yeah.
Do you want to?
Thank you.
Kindly move at the center, please.
Just move
Yes. Thank you. Yes, we categorically deny the implied accusations made by the NGO board. And yes, this is perceived by us to be a continuation, just as we said in our statement, of the attacks that we saw in August against AfriCog and other organizations. Yes, I mean, it's a constitutional right of anybody who wants to file a petition to do so. So we don't see why there should be a connection in this regard.
Are any of you planning to file a petition today?
Let's see how the day goes.
So we have to wait until midnight?
Yes, because as we have said clearly, it's a constitutional right for any Kenyan to go to court, and we have more time for Kenyans to prepare around that. And also to add what John has said, these are normally framed up charges by the NGO board, and this is not the first time they are doing that. They have done that to the KHRC. I think like 3 times now from 2015. We saw that on AfriCog, and we always tell them to meet us in court, and they don't come. So that's why we are saying they should have no basis. The idea is just to frustrate our work, and we should ensure that we don't push for accountability on the current matters of public interest. So this is not new to us. It has been a pattern of impunity by the incompetent and also illegal NGO board, which we have been saying it should be forced out, because we don't recognize them at all.
Clarification. The opposition to some extent says that it is not ready to file any petition. However, information has been that it is using the civil society to do so.
get a couple more questions.
Yeah, that's one.
How can this be solved? Because every time we always hear that this organization is not paying taxes, all NGOs should register with the NGO board. What is the permanent solution for this? Because tomorrow again we will hear another letter flying around that some NGO has done something wrong. What is the permanent solution to all these problems that we have been seeing appearing from the past?
Okay.
Okay. First of all, the opposition isn't using civil society to fulfill its agenda. I think that I'd like to make that very, very clear. Number one. Number two, allegations have been made, for example, with regard to AfriGov, of which I'm the chairman, vis-a-vis taxation. And the point that we made, even when the last raid happened in August, was very clear that our books are open. And we've invited them. Come and go through our books. We do not have a taxation problem that we know of. If we have a compliance issue, it would be good to be notified. That is the reason we have come to believe that this is simply a pretext being used to interfere and to disrupt the work that these organizations are doing.
And you'll find in most cases, we get those allegations from the media. We have never received any official communication and complaints from the NGO board.
Or from the Kenya Revenue Authority.
Or from the Kenya Revenue Authority, or from the Immigration Department. So we get all those innuendos through the media, and we always write to the NGO board, asking them, can you put this officially in writing? And to clarify in writing, and they don't do that. That's why we always end up in court, suing them for defamation. Number two, we also don't speak for the opposition. We are independent civil society institutions, and we have a mandate to ensure accountability when it comes to elections. And to us, the solution has been commence the PBO Act, because it has the best framework for ensuring the management of the civil society. And with the PBO Act, we are also going to have a system of hiring a more competent and also a more accountable regulatory body, which we are calling the PBO Authority, not this political outfit which is led by Vanzu. Tom.
I think I'm loud enough. What is happening, I'll just stress on what my colleagues have said. It is not a coincidence, that's as our statement says. Because you realize that around the time of elections, like what's happening now, and that everybody is expecting that someone will go to court, and even what you are questioning, if what time people are going to court. So even these attacks are preempting that. They are trying to attack everywhere to see who could be preparing to go to court so that they stop it. So we know this is not a coincidence. And we also know that this is not just the beginning or the end. It's a long battle that we are going to have. But we want to tell them that we are prepared. We are not going to drop Kenya and say that we are not going to fight for Kenya. We are going to fight for our rights, for the rights of every Kenyan. Whichever way they come, they will find us. Thank you.
Maybe as an independent body, you too also have mandate for the population of the country's political agenda. What is your take? Maybe yesterday Raila Odinga said he is not ready for any talks with President Uhuru Kenyatta. However, President Uhuru Kenyatta says that he is ready for reconciliation. What is your way forward?
I think as a civil society, what we've been pushing, particularly in recent times, is the fact that all our solutions are not to the political leadership, and it is time that the citizens come out and speak on what they really want, the direction they want this country to take. And as civil society, we are working with citizens across all the 47 counties, across both political divides, to see how we chart the way forward for Kenya, and not necessarily have Raila and Uhuru on the table. We can have citizens push a bigger agenda than that.
A follow-up question to what my colleague has said. My name is Ken. Everybody. Just wanted to know, minus the court, have you tried maybe to engage Fazul's boss, that's Matiang'i, directly in order to find a solution to this? And is your fear to declare whether you're filing a decision, whether you're filing a case? Is it because of the intimidation and all that?
Let me say this. Because we hardly get any official communication from the NGO board, we always take a position that we meet in the court, where Fazul should be able to prove those allegations, and they have not been able to do that. The last time they targeted KHRC at Africa, they came up with a committee, which we termed as irregular, and we dismissed that committee because it had no moral and also legal basis. And because we had already gone to court, and we told them if they want us to engage with them, let us canvass these issues in the courts, and they never engaged us in the courts. So that has been the challenge, where the government always come up with this allegation through the media, but then when we ask them for official communication, they don't come up with anything. And that's why we say it's part of the wider scheme by the government to not just intimidate the sector, but also intimidate other independent voices and institutions. To me, I call it part of the executive idiotism, where the executive wants to be in control of almost every institution in this country, both state and non-state. Actually, I would say most of these institutions now are struggling to survive, actually including the media, the parliament. You have seen what is happening also to the Council of Governors. So I think this is an attempt by the government to close the space, which we are saying we can't lose it because we have really fought for it from independence to date. So it's a bigger scheme, not just about civil society, but also against any other independent institution, both state and non-state. And that's why we have to act together to ensure that we consolidate this democratic space, which has been safeguarded in the Constitution of Kenya. Yeah.
Hi. Introduce yourself.
My name is Khalif Khalifa. Okay. My name is Khalif Khalifa. I am the chair of Muhuri. As I think you are all aware of what is going on, and I think this is pure intimidation and harassment. We have a set of documents here that we have filed our returns 2015 and 2016. Okay, and all these allegations of I don't know what they're talking about. We don't know anything about it. One thing is very clear, that I'm not going to attend at all. I think they can do whatever they want to do. We're on the right. We filed our returns. They have never even replied. As usual, they never reply. It's true. So it's up to them to do whatever they want to do. And that's, as I said, these are the sets of documents that we filed. Every document inside is here.
Maybe we can take just one last round of questions.
Sorry, John, in your Africa cat, please, has anything happened since the intimidation in Africa after the August the 8th election? Or is that just sort of disappeared? Was it like a shot across the bows, or a KRA and other institutions still investigating you? So just wondering how serious this situation is. And secondly, for all of you, if the opposition invites you to join their People's Assembly, which they want to include civil society and other groups, would you accept that invitation, or would you not? Thank you.
Any further questions? With regard to AFRICOG and the raids that took place in August, there has been no follow-up. Outside what we see in the media, in social media, we see documents circulated that are then published online, But in terms of formal communication by the KRA to AFRICOG, seeking our documents or wanting to come and do an investigation, I'm not aware of anything like that that has reached us since August.
And in terms of the other question on the opposition,
people.
Yeah, you remember we issued a statement last week under the banner with the people, and we were very clear on what we want. And this is an initiative of other key actors in the society outside Jubilee and NASA, because we are very clear this debate is not about NASA and it's not about Jubilee. So that's why we came up as other key players, the civil society, the media, the trade unions, the churches, and other key players, saying we need more time now. We are saying actually we require like 1 year where we put in place the reforms we need, because the country is so divided, but we have to address the major electoral and also political justice questions. So to us, we are very clear, we can't resolve these issues within the 9 days which the opposition is talking about. So we need more time so that the country can heal, but also we have a candid conversation on how we resolve the underlying issues which have been causing these problems. Every 5 years we have elections. So you can also go back to that position we took last week around this kind of issues, and we are calling ourselves with the people. That means other key players outside Jubilee and NASA.
And you will realize that the civil society has been having people's assemblies all the time, all along. We've been having bunges all the time. So it is not the opposition inviting us, but this is something that we have been doing in our own way. Maybe they will have more numbers than what we have been doing, but we have several bunges going on around the country all the time.
Yeah, it's true. That's why we have the Bunge la Mwananchi initiative. Actually, it's the one which came up with this idea of the People's Assemblies and the People's Forum. So that is not new to us. It's part of the things the sector has been implementing all along, actually. So can we leave it at that? And thank you.
Thank you very much.